All right, everybody, welcome back to Beans No Ball. As promised from yesterday's video, Christian, we're getting you kind of letting you take center stage on a couple topics. I know you've been burning, you've been stewing a bunch of little complaints on Jerry and the whole front office. So for the most part, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this. I'm gonna let you kind of just rant. We've been talking about this for a while. You finally get your Cowboys rant, Christian.
Yeah, obviously, I'm trying to keep it promise not to heavily extend it, but let's just go over the main issues on with the whole front office situation. I mean, Jerry Jones and Steven clear the offseason after that embarrassing loss to the Packers. They're all in, right? I don't know what Jerry was thinking of all in. I don't know what Steven was backing up, but clearly we're not all in because the only thing we have done so far was sign Eric Kendricks, which I think is a W move. It is a very W move in my opinion. It really added depth to that linebacker position.
Yeah, he's due for a fall off.
Yeah, I mean, we hope that hasn't happened. I mean, he's coming off a season where he did just, fucking did
100
what?
plus tackles, yeah.
100 plus tackles, and he's like, what?
I mean, he was arguably a backbone of that Chargers defense, so.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And then, when we got new guys, and I'm going to keep saying this too with DeMar Overshone, he's coming off the ACL, right? And speaking of injuries, the Cowboys, they're relying on a lot of players coming off injuries. DeMarvion and Trayvon coming off the ACL. Mozzie Smith's going into shoulder injuries, so he's going to miss a couple months. He's going to be good for training camp. And there's two other players in my there's two other players coming off injury as well that they don't ring in my mind. But I guess you could say a handful of players coming off injury that the Cowboys are relying on. And that's the thing that I don't understand, which I don't know why you don't want to bolster up depth. The only thing we've done so far with depth is re-sign CJ Goodwin. He's our special team edge. I love CJ, and then Jordan Lewis, which I was really, really happy about, keeping that cornerback position in depth. Like, sure, I had little rambles why Jerry wouldn't go out and sign another veteran corner. And when you kind of brought the idea to me, like, we're fine with the corners. I mean, Gilmore's probably gone.
As long as you keep Gilmore, because the thing is, like, okay, like you're assuming Gilmore's gone, like, okay, that throws a wrench in there, of course, but like, assuming
he's already getting interest from the Panthers. Yeah, he's already getting interest from the Panthers, his hometown team.
I don't think he's going back to Carolina. Personally, let's just throw that out the way. But like, I mean, look, I do definitely see an avenue where he does stay in Dallas. That's let's throw that in there too. But that's the thing, you keep Gilmore. The cornerback room is still pretty strong. The main thing is, if you lose Gilmore, then that's when you start having the concerns. Maybe you should have went for Trey White. Maybe you should have went for L'Jarius Sneed, stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's gonna be Gilly. It's gonna be Gilly at probably at the, I want to say at the 3 spot, Bland at the 2, and then Trayvon's obviously gonna be at the 1. Jordan's gonna stay in the nickel, and he'll rotate around the 3 and the 2 spot. Which I would not get mad at that. If Gilly ends up leaving, I'm very much happy with Jordan Lewis being at that number 3 spot because I think him at the 2 or the 1. Yeah, I know. Not even that. I know Mike Zimmer's. The way he runs defenses, how tough he's with the defenses he's coached with the center in Minnesota. He knows how to coach a defense, and that's the thing I'm looking for. The hard aggression. That's what we need. After D-Law's comments after the game saying you guys are tired the whole game, and even your own teammate Gilly had to go out on a podcast saying that he basically he called BS on that, and that's the thing I don't like. And then the whole running back situation, let it go with TP. I expected him to get released. They were not going to pick up his contract. He was going to get his contract after having another roaming season, and I'm still giving him props. He did manage to bounce back towards the midseason. I mean, that's really much I can say here. I really hope he tries for Tennessee. I have much hope for him. Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn is our 2 backs right now. As much as I really want to see Deuce
Vaughn a little too much, man.
Yeah, as much as I really want to see Deuce, I don't think he's gonna cut it. Unfortunately, Rico Dowdle, I really don't want to see shades of TP 2.0 this season because the way Dowdle was, at the running back 2 spot behind Pollard, he was.
And that's what I'll throw this into myself, like. It's probably not like the greatest option, but you got Zeke right there. Pick him up, get.
And that's the thing too. That's the thing too.
Zeke is still what he needs to be for you.
Yeah, not even Zeke, even Dalvin Cook. Not that long ago, Zeke and Dalvin, they're having
Is he not still under contract with the Ravens? Or is he?
I'm pretty sure he's a free agent. They both said they're interested with Dallas. It just depends all with the the Zeke reunion with Dak Prescott, his last dance, and now I will get into Dak Prescott as well. That's the bigger news there. I mean, at this point, bring Zeke. Let them run it back one more time. Not getting into the whole Dak Prescott situation. This whole morning, they're not picking up his contract they're not going to extend his contract for the 2024 season. He's going to ride it out last one for this final year, and he will hit the free agent market in 2025. I'm letting you know right now, there are a lot of teams that will get Dak Prescott. It's just his contract that I really doubt anyone's going to really this contract's really the main concern to be able to pick that up. But you know, a lot of positions in this team, like
he's a free agent. That contract don't matter.
It all depends to extend.
It depends on what he ends up getting. And
yeah.
like, I mean, hey, if he ends up having to take a discount, you know, if no one wants to pay him the money, and you know, if he feels comfortable staying, because you know Jerry's not gonna pay him like that much. Also, let's be honest. If he ends up wanting to stay, then okay, you know, that kind of maybe opens him up. But then also, you know, are the Cowboys actually gonna ride it out with him if they don't think he's the guy after this year?
And that's the thing I was really more concerning too, because even if Dak does well, even if Dak ends up having a really great season, no Super Bowl at all again, if we manage to make it to the championship, which was honestly the bare minimum for last season, was get to the conference championship. That's it. I feel like even if he barely gets it to there, I really doubt Jerry's gonna pick up his contract. I doubt he's gonna pay him that much amount of money, because we have two other guys that still need contracts. CD's up next in line. That's already been confirmed for a couple months. Now CD's in line for his next big contract, and then we still have to pay Micah Parsons. And with Micah, I honestly don't know here, because he didn't even want to pick up his 5th-year option. He wanted to save $2 million.
$2 million, yeah.
Yeah, he it was 2 point something. It was less than 2.5 mil, I'm pretty sure, but still 2 million. Save 2 million in cap, but not using it at all for any free agents. And then on the defensive side, Dante Fowler, Big Hank, who was our run stopper, 2 million. The Seahawks picked him up for with I think $300K guaranteed, some incentives here and there. 2 million. We let Big Hank, our run stopper, who really made a big impact in stopping the run game for the offenses, we let him go for 2 million to the Seahawks. Seahawks got themselves a big guy. They got themselves a really good run stopper right then and there. Dante Fowler, Dorrance Armstrong. And Dorrance was a guy that I really hyped up, since he was really stepping up from being in the shadow of D-Law for most of it. And then Dante, when we picked him up, I think it was 2 seasons ago, he set the tone with Dan Quinn. He was there. And Jerry just doesn't want to pay. Not wanting to pay Zach Moss $4 million in 2 years. Derrick Henry got offered. His first offer was $6.5 million for the Ravens. When I saw that he didn't want to offer Zach Moss 4, I pretty much just threw that out the window. He doesn't want to pay anyone. He's stingy. The cap space, extending Dak would have saved so much in cap space. But no, instead, I think it's a $59 million cap hit. $59 million for not picking up his contract. Yeah, $59 million, and it's going to hit the cap for not extending Dak Prescott. So honestly, like I've said it a lot of times, I know I've had some emotional outbursts when it came to Dak about losses, but realistically, there's no going to be another quarterback there that's going to be able to replace Dak Prescott for what he did for the past day. Trey Lance is the other guy. That honestly is the vision. I mean, I was having this conversation with my dad, like when I got home, that like if he's most likely going to be gone in 2025 when he hits the market. A team is going to pick up Dak Prescott. And I kind of saw a tweet about this earlier, kind of looking at a parallel with this. I mean, kind of see a parallel with Matt Stafford. But the only thing is, he was loved in Detroit. He wasn't getting the success in Detroit with the horrible front office he was doing. Same with Dak. The front office, Jerry is the GM, the president, Stephen Jones by his side. That front office, it hasn't done him any justice. Sure, a lot of people can make the argument, well, Dak in the playoffs, this and that. Sure, that argument may stand, but he is the quarterback. He's going to get the blame, but let's not account for that. Sometimes the defense didn't also step up when it really mattered. Seeing the parallel again, Dak goes to a different team, ends up getting a bowl. That could be a stretch. But that's just a parallel that I saw from a tweet that, it makes the most sense.
I think we can pump the brakes on, there's levels to this, Matt Stafford, I still would put him far ahead. I mean, sure, there's also, to consider, if that goes into a situation, I know you like the main one that you always go to is Minnesota. Minnesota looks like a great spot for him if he does end up going, but realistically, they're probably going quarterback in this draft. And hey, if that pick crashes out, who knows? Somewhere I'm kind of thinking is Denver, if something ends up happening. The money situation, the front office there, he's used to such a terrible front office in Dallas. I wouldn't see him going to Denver, but something happens this year, maybe there's some situation that could change for him, but like I don't know. There's definitely options out there.
Yeah, honestly, the options, the possibilities, who knows? That coming into the season, he ends up having a shitter season with his last two with us. Ends up having a great season because he's coming off an MVP season. I mean, I would expect Dak to, obviously do what he does best. There's just a lot of implications he's going to come into play. He's still going to get the hate that, honestly, unjustified hate that he gets every single time, not from the fans around the league. But obviously, from what I said in the past couple of videos, honestly, the best case scenario is for next season, 2025, I would much rather have Dak walk and actually have him go with the team, with the front office that actually cares. As long as it's not a division rival, I don't care what team he goes to. As long as it's not the
Giants need a
division,
quarterback.
historic division, historic rivals like the Niners and the Steelers. Like that's what I'm saying. Vikings, it would be nice. You know, I got no beef with the Vikings, right? That would be the most possible scenario. But with the Vikings already looking into the draft with the quarterback and this and that, JJ McCarthy's name getting thrown around, a lot of things can change here. But honestly, that would honestly be the best possible case for Dak. Just leave the toxicity of that
Think
front
about
office.
this. I mean, think about New Orleans. I mean, right now they're kind of in quarterback.
They're kind of in a quarterback, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, sure, you know, they're at a serviceable spot. I mean, but I mean, I honestly do think, you know, Dak would probably push them over. And, you know, they're looking like in a very tough division. You think the Bucks are on the rise. You think the Falcons now actually look like a contender.
And the Saints are bolstering up that team little by little. And look, Olave, that could be a very nice connection. And then there's someone, Dak and JJ. I mean, we see what Dak's able to do with CD. JJ is obviously better than CD. Look what it would be able to do with JJ. There's a lot of possible scenarios I can go there, but honestly, like I said, Dak walking where Dak goes, I go, and I can speak for most Cowboys fans as I'm going through social media. At this point, we're pretty much Dak fans rather than actually being a fan of the team itself. Obviously, this team doesn't, not the team, Jerry. The way he's running it, he obviously doesn't care. He says he's all in, doesn't do anything. You're letting go key players on ball, realistic both sides of the ball. We lost Tyron Smith not that long ago to the Jets. $20 million.
Which from what I saw, I mean, you weren't really going to be able to afford to retain him from what I was seeing.
Jerry, we weren't going to afford him with his $20 million. Jerry, we wouldn't be able to afford him.
I mean, look, he's injured. Like the injury.
That's why the injury. That's a lifting too.
That's where I understand. I mean, hey, you know, the way I'm saying, you know, I don't think Amari Smith is actually going to be available at what your pick is, 24. Like, I don't think he's going to be there, but, you know, I'm clearly seeing you're going to go tackle it.
And I really wanted to defend Tyron too. Like, he's good when he's healthy, but he's never healthy. He hasn't been healthy, that actively healthy for a couple years now. Really, from that big trio when it was Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick. How much I miss you, Travis Frederick. Zach Martin is just the last guy left out of the bunch. And honestly, it'll hurt me to see Zach Martin go. We got a bunch of young guys coming in. Tyler Smith most likely going to move to, I believe it's the tackle or the tackle position, I think, to replace Tyron. If I'm not too sure, I'm probably getting the position mixed up. But Mozzie Smith. Tyler Smith, he's going to move positions again in the offensive lineman, and then whatever lineman we get in the draft, whoever falls, honestly, I can honestly forget getting receiver first round. Really hoping Keon Coleman drops second round. We can also get more into that. If we make the next mock draft. But regardless of that, honestly, coming into this team, this is like the first time in years I really have no hope for this Cowboys team, let alone. And I'm just, at this point, I'm literally just riding with Dak at this point. I mean, I've been defending Dak for so long. This is Dak, you know. Been Dak fan since literally he came with us. That's literally the most thing I'm really looking forward to. Is literally just seeing Dak play, CD, and whatever the Jones decide to do, let them do. And you're gonna see once Dak walks, you're gonna see the mediocrity that this team's gonna go through without Dak Prescott. I wanna defend Lance. You know, he has raw talent. He needs a chance. I really doubt he's gonna be like Jordan Love. First year as a starter, started off rocky, and then obviously bounced back, ends up getting the playoff win, which I did call. So a little pat on the back for me for there, but. Honestly, Trey Lance is probably going to be the answer. I really doubt we're going to go for a quarterback in next year's upcoming draft. If Trey Lance is the answer, unless, you know, he signs with another team as a free agent, they trade him again, blah, blah, blah.
Which, you know, they're not picking up his options. So,
exactly.
I honestly don't really see that being, you know, that much of an option, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and unless, you know, Dak does walk and they end up picking up his option, you know, later in the season or whatever they're going to do with that. A lot of scenarios to go through, but honestly, not really much to say about that. Just once again, Jerry Jones continuing to be the detriment to this whole team, and Dak, I'm so sorry, man, but I mean that's really pretty much all I gotta say about that team. You know, there's really a lot more I could say there, but don't really want to stretch it out too much. Those are pretty much the big keys.
Yeah, we stretched this out pretty good. Probably gonna.
It was a decent amount,
we'll end up seeing how long this ends up being. But I mean, look, honestly, you know, I could definitely see your frustrations, and you know, I mean, one more to say, you know, I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, not to say, you know, hope is lost either. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, your division, I'm not too scared of what's going on. I mean, sure, the Giants are actually, I mean, the Giants, the Eagles, sure, you know, they're on the come of the Commanders. Who knows how those moves are going to pan out, but I mean, there's still hope this season. I mean, we'll wait and see. But I mean, regardless, trying times definitely are coming in the next couple years if stuff doesn't end up happening, and if Jerry doesn't wake up. That's the main thing that you always start saying, once Jerry's gonna wake up. But yeah, Christian, you finally got your rant video. I know we've been hyping this one up for a minute. You've been just waiting and waiting. Stuff's been building. You got more and more ammo to see what stuff's gonna come out, and obviously this was your time to shine. It was basically your right. You could have done this video without me. You could have just done this on your own, but I'm here for the spectacle. So that is going to wrap us up, of course. I mean, Christian, for your sake, I really hope something ends up happening. I hope you guys change for the better. No, not too much better, because my Rams are on the come up as well. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us for today. Don't know what video we got coming up next. Maybe some draft analysis. Maybe we'll end up talking about some other team situation, but unless any other news comes up, we'll see you guys for any of that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you like and subscribe, and we'll see you back for whatever comes next.